banana, generally we use these. We actually like them to go black even for this. So, parang when it's black, it's more aromatic. So we feel na you get more of the sweetness you look for in a ketchup. My name is Jordi Navarra from Toyo Eatery. I'm the chef and one of the owners. We were looking at what are flavors that we feel define the food we like to eat here in the Philippines. We came to the conclusion that we wanted to work with a lot of the condiments. The condiments basically are a building block to the flavor profiles that we have. Not even just how you use it as like kunyari a dipping sauce, but also even flavoring dishes like as a base when you start cooking. When we started with the idea of serving banana ketchup, the whole point for us was trying to understand where it came from, how it got incorporated into the taste profile. It's a nice snapshot into the flavors we like and also like insight into what other cultures influence our food style. I'm pretty sure we got it from the Americans, who got it generally from the British, who got it from China. Sort of like a nice circle and how it comes back to Asia in a different form. So we felt that it's a really good way to sort of represent that timeline and how that influences Filipino food today. I think growing up, it was fried chicken and banana ketchup. Na parang I'm like, oh, banana ketchup. Wow. Then after I found out na yun yung nilalagay pala sa spaghetti. So lahat ng birthday na pinupuntahan ko, yun pala yun. And then I find out also after na yun na yung nilalagay sa barbecue. So what? So you start with like different aromatics, so onion, garlic, tomato. Tapos it gets cooked down. Tapos ito may infusion na. Mga sili and stuff. Bay leaf, shushoot mo suka. Afterwards, season. And then yung banana blossom. Tapos after that gets seasoned with salt, the suka. The vinegar took us a few months because we really wanted it to be sort of closed loop. You use the peel, the same peels that you would use to make the banana for the banana ketchup. Basically peel and water and thyme. So generally a month. This is January 30. Tapos ito last year. June 4. So as you see, okay pa naman siya. Pero actually, gusto mo ng time rin. Kasi the older it gets, the more it sort of mellows out. Tapos you just left with like a nice acid. So for us, the whole point was highlighting the condiment. So the dish is basically called banana ketchup. And then for us, we use that as an opportunity to sort of change things also. If one day we will serve chicken with it, we'll do it. The whole point is the dish is banana ketchup and these are things we eat with banana ketchup. So as a whole, it's the homemade banana ketchup using different parts of the banana with the tortang talong, which is essentially eggplant and egg. Underneath we had like an eggplant and rice na parang crisp to sort of add texture to that. And on top, a bit of crispy leeks.
So, this is our homemade banana ketchup. Si banana ketchup, na-invento po ito noong World War II. Na-invento ito ng isang Pilipina. So, nagngangalang Maria Orosa. And isa po siyang bayani. And siya yung isa sa mga nagpakain sa mga war prisoners ng araw.
She was taking a pharmacy in the University of the Philippines. And after her graduation, because she did so well in school, she was appointed as Assistant State Chemist of the state of Washington. This was in the 1920, and you must remember at that time, that was the year that American women were allowed to vote. So she was Asian and she was a woman, so that was no mean accomplishment. In 1922, she decided to go back home. She wanted to help the country and the Filipinos.
Maria Orosa became the director of the Bureau of Plant Industry. Because of her background as a pharmacist and as a chemist, she started studying the benefits of plants and other substitutes. She was very nationalistic and she didn't want the Filipinos to always buy imported goods because during that time everything was imported. So because of the scarcity of tomatoes, she came up with banana ketchup.
She's like a Filipino food hero that I feel like doesn't get enough attention.
2 years ago, we put up a group made up of 9 Orosa, men and women, and we called it the O Divas and Divos. And the purpose of that was to ensure that her legacy would live on. Because we realized that nobody really knew anything about her except she had a street, she was the inventor of banana ketchup, but it was more to her than just the banana ketchup.
The way she was able to feed the prisoners of war in UST was she would can adobo, menudo, and they would stuff the canned foods into bamboo shoots. Her men pretended to be construction workers with the bamboo shoots, like they're going to be carpenters, because there's always construction going on. So they went into UST with a bamboo shoot. She was a war heroine, and she's a national pioneer for food preservation and technology.
She was unbelievable, really.
Seriously, a woman ahead of her time.
So it's a nice way also to look at our past and pay homage to the people that started developing our food.
People always say if she had not died during the war, maybe she would have patented her recipe for banana ketchup. I mean, among other things. And the answer is no. She would never have done that because everything that she researched on and found and invented was really for the Filipino people. It was never for money.
Her recipes were shared and available to everybody. It was an open book for everybody to experiment with and use.
Maxis was born in the year 1945, towards the end of the Second World War, when a Stanford-educated teacher named Maximo Jimenez befriended a whole bunch of American GIs who lived in the area around his home in Scout Tuason, in Quezon City. He began to invite them into his home. First, it started out with just simple fare and some drinks, but as the friendship became deeper, and the desire to be more hospitable arose, his niece developed her own recipe of fried chicken to offer to the guests. And while this started as an offering just for the American GIs, word started to spread to the surrounding community, and soon Filipinos started to come to Max's for the fried chicken. The most popular condiment at that time was the very recent Filipino invention called banana ketchup.
You know, banana ketchup became commercialized. My mom would always tell me, "Ay, that's your aunt's recipe."
Before I was even 12 years old, Mommy took me to a meeting with businessmen and women who asked her if they could commercialize Maria Y. Orosa's name into a food line and brand. And Mommy said, "That's too complicated. What about the royalties? Now do I have to talk to all the Orosa clan to get this approved?" So that never really happened. And I think we're better for it,
Yeah.
because her recipes were really developed to help the Filipino people.
Ang pangalan ko pala si Lauro Convencido Jr. Ako may-ari ng Manglaris. Nag-umpisa itong tindahan ko noong 1984. Ang unang product kong binibinta noon, itong isaw ng manok, baboy, tainga, balong-balonan. So, yun to yung mga ino-offer ko sa mga estudyante, sa mga customer kong mga foreigner. Noon, konti lang. Ngayon, marami na. More than 40 items na eh. Basta ketchup. Simula pa naman ako nung maliit pa gumagamit na kami at nakita ko rin yan sa mga ibang restaurant, ibang mga kainan. Usually yun ang ginagamit. Ito, itatry natin. Mag-iihaw tayo para makita natin yung resulta nung sinabi nating panglagay natin. Pinagmaridida na yan ng liempo. Kasi yung liempo namin, hindi naman usually hilaw yan eh. Linalaga namin yan with complete ingredients. Ang pinaka-final nito, yung ibababad namin siya sa marinated na with ketchup. Oh. Yan ang pampaganda. O, di ba, maputla siya. Linagyan mo siya nito. Di ba, nag-iiba na. Yung ketchup kasi yan. Kung ano yung ginagawa sa bahay, parang nagdagdag ka lang ng ibang pampaganda, pampasarap, yung parang dagdag recipe. Kasi karamihan lang naman sa bahay, kalamansi, tuyo, ketchup. Sumisip-sip kasi siya ng sarap ba? Medyo matamis-tamis na medyo may asim-asim. Kung ano yung natitikman natin sa mga prito, pag ulam natin, ganun din to eh.
When we speak about Philippine culinary preferences, banana ketchup is number one in the market. And I think that's very interesting because if you think about it, a lot of the foods that are served on the daily Pinoy table tend to be fried foods. Very simple, basic fried foods. No? And the taste of these dishes tends to be very single-dimensional. It's just that one basic salty flavor. We're looking for complexity. If you look at signature Filipino cuisine, there's always a complexity of flavors. The sourness of sinigang, the savoriness of a kare-kare. Filipinos always chase that. And I think the complexity that they get by mixing the almost impossible to describe flavor of banana ketchup, the tanginess and sweetness and saltiness and sourness all in one bite perfectly goes with the saltiness of the basic Pinoy prito. To some extent, we use banana ketchup as a way to allow us explore broader culinary diversity without letting go of our basic day-to-day prito.
I think our clan, we have innate in us the cooking talent. We can go into the kitchen and come up with food. My husband will say, "Did you measure those recipes?" No, I do it by taste. So, or I'll follow a recipe and I'll change it to make it my own. And his usual comment will always be, "Oh, you made that Maria Y. Orosa na naman. You reinvented the wheel. The recipe's already there. Why reinvent the wheel?" So, I use it as a foundation for my sweet and sour sauce. I use it with cropek. You should try just hot dogs, sliced hot dogs, saute it in banana ketchup and mustard.
I think I was eating at my cousin's house when they had fish with banana ketchup because I thought it was very weird. And then I saw them like loading up banana ketchup with different things. So like how you would do kunyari if you go eat out sa Max.
So step one is always getting banana ketchup and really pouring out a whole lake of it. We're not shy when it comes to our sausawan. Take note, they always want their own separate saucer just for the ketchup. No? And it's funny because even in a family of 5 at one table, you'll see each of them has their own saucer of ketchup because each one of them has their own timpla or their own blend. So first you have this lake of banana ketchup and depending on how much complexity and saltiness you want to add, you can just put as much Worcestershire sauce as you want. I really enjoy the depth and the richness of Worcestershire, so I really put a lot. But I've seen a lot of people who put even more than I do. And then you just blend it all together. One thing that I think we have to be proud of as Filipinos, not everything that we do is Instagram perfect, but we just love the honesty and the authenticity of our stuff. And then if you like, several dashes of hot sauce. No? So again, I would never call this the most beautiful sausawan in the world. But when you put it in the mouth, everything is just absolutely perfect for me. And that's when I know that I've got the perfect mix. It's sweet, it's salty, it's spicy, all in one go. And I know when I dip my fried chicken into this, it's going to be perfect. Fantastic. I'm hitting all 5 flavors. I'm getting the saltiness of the fried chicken. I'm getting the base sourness, a little bit of bitterness. There's a sweetness to it, you know? And that spice that I love, all in one bite. You know? Even if it's the most simple fried chicken of all, the complexity in the mouth is just something else.
Ang success ko yata dito, yung may tiwala ka sa taas, unang-una. Tiwala sa sarili at yung quality. Iniisip namin, hindi yung kumita kami. Inumpisan ko ng maliit, up to now, lumalaki siya. Talagang tuloy-tuloy. Ibig sabihin, tama yung inumpisan ko.
Ibang level pala.
Ito, luto na siya. Ayan mo, ganda. O, iba talaga pag may ketchup eh. Iba? Iba yung kulay niya eh. Iba yung lasa niya talaga. Sobrang umaano sa dila. Hindi katulad nung ano na tamis lang mararamdaman mo. Yung suka naman, ito wala namang ketchup to. Kung ano yung kulay ng sili, yan na yun.
So, parati namin sinasuggest to eat with ketchup, everything. I think came out okay. So for us, we tried to keep the inside of the egg creamy para you highlight more eggplant. It's really just to push eggplant and ketchup.
When I close my eyes and try to imagine the perfect bite of food, I imagine a whole blend of rich flavors. I'm looking for a simple saltiness. I'm looking for a delicate crispness, but I'm also looking for notes of sharpness. I'm looking for accents. I'm looking for boldness, all in one bite. And that's why I think every bite of Max's fried chicken, which we always consider to be fried chicken at its most authentic, it's such a great base to complement the tanginess and the sharpness of flavor of banana ketchup.
People, when they hear banana ketchup, they think it's really weird. I don't think it's that weird for us, especially since tomatoes for us are like very sour and crunchy. For us, like a banana is sweeter than a tomato. And then generally, if you make the banana into ketchup, it should be more of a translation into that.
Banana ketchup, I think, has always been such a nice conversation starter when it comes to visitors from other nations and other cultures. Because the obvious question is, I didn't know you could even make ketchup out of bananas. And why would I even put banana ketchup in the fried chicken? But what we always try to preach whenever we try to reach out to other cultures is that blend of the familiar and the peculiar. Filipinos have always been so good in blending. When we talk about banana ketchup, the concept itself seems sometimes unnatural. Who would ever think of putting banana in a ketchup? And I think this just goes back to the Filipino attitude of embracing the global culture. Even back in 1945, we weren't able to get enough tomatoes to make a ketchup, so we took what was locally available and locally loved, bananas. We processed it, blended it all together, and end up with something that is both global, ketchup, but so truly Filipino, banana ketchup. And that's one of the most surprising thing for our guests whenever we open up a new branch in another country. Our guests will always ask, what is this banana ketchup? I didn't know you could make ketchup out of bananas. And we're proud to say, this is truly something that is so utterly Filipino, but also so global at the same time.